Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about ecology. Okay. Ecolou. Today's topic is ecology. Now see, what does this ecology means? Ecology comes from two different words. One is oikos, another is logos. 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 Here oikos mean house or any dwelling area. Okay. Then logos refers to study. Okay. So ecology refers to study about the house. House refers to our environment. Okay. Study of environment and the interrelationship between the living organism, that may be plant, that may be animal, living organism and their environment. Okay. Ecology refers to the study of interrelationship between living organisms and their environment. Now see, like in house, suppose we human beings are living in house. In house we are depend upon many things like electricity, water, any entertainment purposes, for any sleeping purposes, any kitchen materials. We are depend upon many things in a house. Like that, all living organisms are depend upon some things, some factors when they are living in an environment. Without depend upon other things, a living organism cannot survive. No living organism cannot survive depending upon other things. That's why a living organism, that may be a plant or that may be an animal, must be depend upon other factors like air, water, your other plants and animals also. One living animals or a one living plant also depend upon other living plant and animals for their food, for their shelter, etc., etc. So this interrelationship between a living organism and their environment is called the ecology. Okay. In other word, we can also say that according to a renowned ecologist E.P. Odom, according to Odom, ecology is the study of air, water, land and energy system in relation to study of air, water, land and energy system in relation to living organisms. Living organisms, or that means study of air refers to atmosphere, study of atmosphere, water refers to hydrosphere and land refers to lithosphere. Study of atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere in relation to living organism refers to biosphere. Biosphere is an area where these three things interact or mixed with each other. Atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, where mixed. At that area, life is possible. We living organisms are living in the biosphere, where atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere is mixed. So, this is the concept of ecology, that interrelationship, that means depending upon each other. We human beings also, other living organisms also, they depend upon each other for their living, for their existence. That dependence upon other organisms, that dependence on their environment is called the ecology. Study of those things is called ecology. Okay. Then there are two terms are come, Autecology and Synecology. We are going to discuss about those things. Autecology. Now the meaning of what is the term of autecology refers to. Autecology refers to the behavior of plants, behavior of individual plants and animals, plants or animals. The behavior of individual plants or animals throughout their life. In relation to their habitat. What is autecology? The study of autecology is study of the behavior of individual plant or animal. If we consider a particular plant or a particular animal throughout their life, from the beginning, from the germination of the plant or from the birth of the animal till their end, till their death or till their senescence, throughout their life, which type of behavior are they observing? If you observe which type of behavior they are producing according to their natural habitat, according to the various factors, environmental factors. If we observe or study a particular living organism throughout their life in their natural habitat, in their particular surrounding, in their particular environment, then that is called autecology. Okay. For this autecology, we must have the knowledge about the, if we consider plant, we must have the knowledge about their germination, their reproduction, their growth and development, their fruiting, flowering and fruiting, then their senescence, etc., etc. We must have the basic knowledge about the physiology of the plant or physiology of the animal that we are going to study. Okay, this is the concept of autecology. Autecology refers to behavior of individual, how a particular individual or how a particular plant or animal behaves or changes or perform physiological activities according to their natural habitat or according to their natural environment. Okay, this is the term autecology. Then another term is the synecology. What does this synecology refer to? Synecology means it is the study of composition and behavior. Composition and behavior of a plant community. It is a study of a composition and behavior of a plant community in their natural habitat. See, autecology, when we are studying a particular individual, only a particular plant, but in synecology, when we are considering a plant community or a group of plants, in a plant community various species are present, maybe 2, 3, 4 species are present, different species are present. How a plant community behaves according to their environment, how a plant community behaves, growth, their physiological activities performed according to their natural habitat or according to their natural environment. That study of a particular plant community is known as synecology. Okay. This is the major difference between autecology and synecology. In autecology, you are considering a particular individual. In synecology, you are considering a particular community, okay, or a particular group, you may say. This is the concept of autecology and synecology. Then we are going to discuss about what are the ecological factors are present. Next thing is ecological factors. Okay, what are the ecological factors? Or see, there are some factors or there are some agents or there are some things through which we are living and depend upon which we are living. Without their presence, a living organism, that may be a plant, that may be animal, or that may be other microbes, they cannot survive. Okay, so those things or those requirements, those necessary primary requirements are referred as ecological factors. Ecological refers to those factors which are present in our environment, in our surrounding, depending upon which we are living. Okay, so right there, the things depending upon which a living organism survive, those are known as ecological factors. There are generally three different ecological factors are present. One is climatic factor, another is physiographic factor or Edapic factor, another is biotic factor. First one is climatic factor. What is climatic factor? The factor which depend or which is refers to the climate of the environment or climate of the habitat, which comes through the climate of the habitat. That is called climatic factor. First of all, we are going to discuss about climate factor. We will discuss one after another. First, we are going to discuss about climatic factor. Okay. What is this climatic factor? The factor which depend upon climate. The factor which depend on climate, or you may say weather, climate of the habitat. There are many different climatic factors. There may be rainfall, humidity, humidity, then wind velocity, then maybe a light, rainfall, humidity, wind velocity, light, etc., etc. Then you may say temperature, another thing, temperature. Okay, so these are the climatic factors which affect the growth and development of a particular organism. We were considering generally plants. The plants' growth and development are depend upon these things when we are considering the climatic factor. First, what is the rainfall? How rainfall affect the growth and development or the life of a plant? See, rainfall directly put impact on soil water content. Okay, it directly put impact on soil water content, because the plant directly does not take water from the rain or from any water bodies or any water reservoir. They absorb water, plant absorb water from the soil. So the soil water content must be sufficient in a particular area so that plant absorb water in a correct manner. That's why if rainfall occurs in a normal rainfall occurs, then soil water content is normalized. Then the plant absorb and plant get the particular and perfect water level. If rainfall occurs below the average, then soil water content is affected and plant does not get the particular water. That's why rain directly affect soil water content and indirectly affect the growth of plant bodies. Then less rainfall affect the vegetative period. You may say vegetative period. Less rainfall affect vegetative period, then fruiting, flowering, ultimately death of the plant occurs. Okay, less rainfall affect vegetative period. What is the vegetative period? Refers to the fruiting period. Then their fruiting, flowering, all other physiological activities also, photosynthesis, transpiration, they are also affected due to less rainfall. Then in average rainfall, the plant grow perfectly. But in moist condition, moist, in moist condition, the plant grow is maximum. In most condition, a plant growth is maximum. Plant growth is maximum in most condition, and it is the best suitable form of the suitable form for the plant. Okay, so these are the impacts of plant rainfall. If rainfall occurs perfectly, then the growth of the plant occurs perfectly. If rainfall is decreasing, if the percentage of rainfall decreasing, then the growth of the plant is affected. Okay, rainfall is complete. Then humidity. What is humidity? Humidity is the amount of water vapor present in the surrounding. Amount of or the percentage of water present in vapor form in the environment is also called humidity. You may write in different terms, different like water vapor. Water vapor present in the environment is called humidity. How humidity helps or how humidity affects the growth and development of plant? Because we are considering the generally plants here. How humidity affect? See, humidity directly would impact on transpiration. Okay. But what is the source of this humidity? What is the source of humidity? The source of humidity is evaporation of water. Evaporation of water from different water reservoirs like river, pond, etc. Evaporation of water and transpiration of water. Transpiration of water from plants. Transpiration of water also put in is the cause of humidity. These are the causes. These are the two different and main causes of humidity. Evaporation of water, transpiration of water. Then the humidity put impact on transpiration also, photosynthesis also, and other physiological activities also. Then there are some plants like orchids, your lichens, lichens, etc. They also absorb their water supplement, or they get their required water from the humidity. They do not directly take water from the root. They generally also took through the root, but also they took the water supplement through the humidity also. So humidity also affect the growth and development of various plants according to their necessity. Okay, humidity is complete. Water vapor present in the surroundings, environment. Then wind velocity. How wind velocity affect the plant growth and development of plant? See, with the increase in velocity of wind, transpiration increases out to a particular level. After that, it decreases. Okay. Then photosynthesis also, wind velocity through wind velocity, photosynthesis also increases to a particular level. After that, photosynthesis also decreases. So wind velocity also put an impact on the plant growth and development. If very strong wind velocity occurs, or very strong, or you may say violent wind if occurs, then they break off twigs, or you may say branches. Very strong wind when occurs, they break off twigs and branches, and even uproot the plant. That's why the growth and development of plant is harmed when the wind velocity goes beyond the limit. But if the wind velocity is present within the limit, then that is very good, and that put a positive impact on the growth and development of plant. But if the wind velocity goes beyond the level, then they are harmful for the growth and development of plant. Okay, this is the concept of wind velocity. Then comes the light. Plant get light from the sun. Okay, solar energy or the light energy, plant absorb light from the sun. This light is affected in two different parts. One is your light intensity, another is light duration. Now plant absorb light in visible intensity, in visible spectrum. In visible spectrum, plant absorb light, and maximum photosynthesis occurs in red light region. Okay. And duration. Duration means how much time the plant is exposed to light. According to the light duration exposed to the light, plants are maybe differently classified into short day plant, long day plant, and day neutral plant. In short day plant, there are various plants which are in which flowering occurs when they are exposed to less sunlight. Those are called short day plant. When flowering occurs when a plant is exposed to light in a maximum amount, then that is called your long day plant. And day neutral plant is when flowering occurs in a plant when that is exposed to average sunlight, then that is called your day neutral plant. So light also affect the photosynthesis, other physiological activities of the plant also. The light intensity affect, not only light intensity affect, but also duration of the light also affect the growth and development of the plant. Okay, after light, temperature. Now temperature affect the plant growth and development in maximum condition. Okay, if max temperature is increases beyond a particular amount, then it affect negatively if the temperature increases beyond a limit, then it affect negatively the growth of the plant. And if temperature decreases the average the temperature, then that also affect negatively. The optimum temperature it means which support the growth and development of the plant, which support the reproduction physiological activities, that is called optimum temperature. Optimum temperature for plant is 25 degrees Celsius plus or minus 5 degrees Celsius. Okay, 25 degree or plus or minus 5 degrees Celsius is the optimum temperature. That means it is the best temperature for the growth and development of the plant. It supports the growth and development, reproduction, other physiological activities of the plant. If temperature decreases or increases beyond this limit, then that will have negatively affect the plant growth and development. So these are the some climatic factors. Then we are going to discuss about physiographic factors and or Edapic factors. Physiographic factor. What is the meaning of physiography? Physiographic refers to physical appearance. Okay, physical appearance or the physical factors. It refers to generally the physical factors or physical appearance of the habitat or of the environment. Physical appearance refers to which type of land is there. Is that maybe a plain? That may be a plain, or that may be a mountain, that may be a valley, or that may be a river, or that may be a hill. Which type of physical appearance is that? That refers to the physiographic factor. Okay, those physiographic factors are maybe altitude, then their slope or steepness, then their drainage system of water, etc., etc., etc. Okay, first see altitude. Altitude refers to the height of the land from the sea level. Altitude refers to height from the sea level. Height of the land from sea level. See, if we compare the height of the land according to the sea level, then there are various types of plants are seen according to the sea level. First, we observe tropical trees or tropical forest which are present nearer to the sea level, not far from the sea level. Then desert plants. Then deciduous plants. Then your coniferous plants, coniferous forest or coniferous plants. Then you may say tundra, TUNDRA, tundra. Then at the top, snow and ice are present. If we go beyond the sea level, above the sea level, then we will see that tropical forests are present nearer to the sea level. In the world, we are not considering in a particular mountain, we are saying this for the particular our earth. We are saying this for our earth. If we go far from the sea level, then we will see the tropical forests are very nearer to the sea level, then desert plants, then deciduous plants, coniferous plants, tundra plants. Then at the top we will see snow and ice are present. Okay, so this is the altitude or the factor altitude or the factor height according to the sea level affect the type of plant. Then the slope. Slope refers to steepness. Okay. See, suppose this is a mountain, this is another mountain, this is river. This area is called valley, valley. Suppose there is here it is plant and here it is plant. When sunlight falls, they fall directly in this part. Okay, if here it is the sun, then sunlight fall directly in this part and obliquely fall in this part. Okay, if this is east, if this is west, then in west sunlight fall directly, and in east part, in this part sunlight fall obliquely. So in this is the slope, this is the slope. This slope also affect the different type of vegetation in a particular area. Okay, then see, in the slope also, when raining occurs, the top soil also washed out and drained from the apex of the mountain to the below part. That's why, and in the below part, in the lower part of the valley, in the lower part of the slope, it get maximum water content as compared to the above part, because it is present near to the sea level or near to the river. That's why the soil which is present below or the bottom of the valley, their water content is maximum as compared to the soil which is present at the top. So this is the slope factor which affect the plant growth and development, and also affect the type of plant which are present. This is also the drainage system. As I say, when raining occurs, the top soil is washed out and present and come to the bottom. This is the condition. Physiographic factors: altitude, slope, drainage system, etc., etc. Then another is written there, Edapic factor. In some book, physiographic factor and Edapic factors are written separately. In some book, it is mentioned in one term, in one point. Edapic factor. Edapic factors refers to physical and chemical nature of soil. Okay. See, without soil, a plant cannot survive. Maximum plant cannot grow or cannot survive without the soil. So, what is the type of soil? What is the physical nature of the soil? What is the chemical nature of the soil? If we study the soil, if we consider the soil factor, then that soil factor is called the Edapic factor. Edapic factor is nothing but the type of soil. Okay. In Edapic factor, we will study that which type of soil is this, which type of soil, then what is the alkalinity and salinity of the soil, what is the acidity of the soil, what is the nutrient content value of the soil, which type of organic materials are present in that soil. So when we are considering these things of the soil, then that is called the Edapic factor. Depending on these factors also, plants growth and development also separate or differentiate. This is the Edapic factor. Okay. Then we are considering what is the Biotic factor. See, Biotic refers to living. What are the biotic factors? That means a plant cannot grow also separating from the other living organisms. Plant also depend upon other living organisms for their growth and development. So this interrelationship between plant and animals, plant also survive for other animals also depend upon plants for their survival. So this interrelationship between plants and other animals is known as biotic factor. Okay, biotic factor refers to interrelationship between plant and animals and plant and microbes. Okay, this is the biotic factor. Biotic factor refers to the interrelationship between plant and plant, interrelationship between plant and animals, interrelationship between plant and microbes. Okay, so how a plant and plant interrelated to each other? See, there are some plants which grow upon other plants and which growth and development depend upon other plants. Those plants are various types. First, you may say one is lianas, L-I-N-S, lianas. Lianas are those type of woody plant, W-O-O-D, woody plants which are rooted in soil, which root present in soil, rooted in soil, but climbed up, CLIMB, climbed up with the help of other plants, whose root is present in soil, but they are woody plants, but cannot climb up without help of other plants. Those plants are called lianas, right? Tinospora is an example, lianas. Then another type of plants you may say epiphytes. Epiphytes are another type of plant which also grow on other plants. Their root is not present in soil. Root also present on the another soil, another plant. Suppose this is a plant. When another plant is growth and when another plant is developed on the a plant, then that is called the epiphyte. When a plant grow and develop on another plant, then that is called epiphyte. Your root is also present in the in this plant. Root does not came into the soil. This is known as epiphytes. Then parasitic plants are also there. Parasitic plants. Parasitic plants mean when plant grows on other plants and the host plant is harmed and only the parasitic plant is benefited. Parasitic plant are maybe stem parasite, root parasite. Stem parasite you may say the cuscuta. Cuscuta is a stem parasite. So when a plant is grows on another plant and the host plant is harmed and only the parasitic plant is benefited, then that is called the parasitic plants. Then another type of you may say plant relationship is another saprophytic plants. Saprophytic plants. When any plant is grow upon any dead plants, then that is those plants are known as saprophytic plants. So this is the interrelationship between plant and plant. One plant is also we are observing that surviving upon other plants or survive for other plants. This is the relationship between plant and plant. There is also relationship between plant and other animals. How plant are benefited from animals? As we know, maximum animals are depend for their food and shelter upon plants. Maximum animals depend upon plants for their food and shelter also. But plants also depend on animals. How? Plant also depend upon animals for their pollination process. Pollination by bats, pollination by insects, etc. occurs. For pollination process, for reproduction process. Okay. For their dehiscence of fruit or flowering process, etc., etc. For nectar also. So for these physiological activities, a plant also depend upon animals also. Okay. This is the interrelationship between plant and animals. How plant growth is depend upon animals. Plant pollination process, ripening fruit dehiscence process, then their reproduction process, etc., etc. depend upon animals sometime also. Then how plant and microbes are interrelated? We know mycorrhiza is a best example of plant and microbes. When fungus is developed on the root of the soil, mycorrhiza, MICORRHIZ, mycorrhiza. When your fungi develop in the root of the higher plants, your gymnosperms, angiosperms, etc., then that is called mycorrhiza. Then lichen is another best example of plant and microbes. In lichen, your algae and fungi are present together. Algae provide the food and fungi provide shelter. Then for nitrogen fixation also, many microbes like Azotobacter, etc., Clostridium, etc., many microbes are also helpful for nitrogen fixation. Then many microbes like fungi also cause plant disease and they negatively affect the growth and development of plant disease. Many fungi cause plant diseases, etc., etc. So microbes also the factor which affect the growth and development of the plant. Okay, so these are the three ecological factors which affect growth and development of the plant we discussed. Okay, So these are the things of ecological factors, autecology, synecology, and ecology. Okay. So thank you everyone. In this class, this much is discussed in the class. Next part will be discussed in next part. Okay. Thank you.